Hello, welcome to the 7th episode of Gen AI Futurecast. This one is very special because it is my first ever in-person interview. And this one is with Ms.Mani. How about you introduce yourself?
Well, thank you, Khush. It's a lovely day today. And for me also, it's very special. This is my first ever podcast with a Gen Alpha person. So I'm very honored to be here and to have this conversation with you. And to introduce myself, I am a product leader. For the past 2.5 decades, I have been in digital product management and e-commerce, and my main forte is to work with user empathy, user experience, and create delightful experiences for the consumer. I worked for companies like Travelocity, Capital One, Mr. Cooper, and CBRE. Lately, I have been advising small to medium companies on their AI and product innovation. And I have built many products 0 to 1. And I'm also working with this app that's local to Dallas and was recognized as one of the top 5 in the 100 in Dallas. Mingly. Mingly is an app that connects Gen Z and millennials with other professionals or other folks with similar passions in real life. So it's almost like getting you off of the screens to meet in person, but we use screens to do that. So that's about me in a nutshell.
Yeah, that's a really cool introduction. So, how about let's move into the questions?
Sure.
So, this is a question that I've never asked anyone else, and I'm just starting to ask it. What do you think of AI?
I am a very curious person and I'm always a learner. When AI is introduced, initially it was a bit daunting when I was reading or learning about machine learning and all of the intelligence behind what we see in ChatGPT. But once you start using ChatGPT, it makes you feel that it's your companion and it's very deceptively makes it look easy. However, it's extremely powerful. We all have to be well versed with what AI can do, what risks it poses, but we also can use it to make our lives and people's life around us better. So I absolutely think that we are living in a greatest time. People like you and me can make a difference.
But yeah, just be safe with AI. That's one thing I want all of you to keep in mind. Okay, so another question I have for you is what AI tool do you mostly use for creating things and why?
So professionally, I work with a lot of UX designers and developers. For my own personal use, I have used, so anytime I am writing something, first thing I do, for me, we all have to preserve and protect our creativity and our brain power. So I never ask AI to do anything for me. First thing I do is what AI does for you, and it's a tool, it's your employee, or you could say it's your assistant. So the thought that I have, what AI has helped me was not wait for perfection. I first get into a mode of just talking about what I want, my idea is, or the concept is. And then when I go into a tool, it could be, I'm talking about conversational AI, but we'll talk about image generation and slide creation and also real professional work, what's happening with AI. What I do is I have my raw thoughts. So then I can give that to any tool. You could use Claude, you could use Perplexity, you can use ChatGPT. Mostly I use ChatGPT for a lot of my writing. I give it the context and I ask it to exactly cater what I need and I want it. So anytime something is produced, I can challenge the AI on why it did not meet what I asked it, or I can always ratify to make sure that what I gave it and what I asked for it as an outcome I did get. So as a product manager, I'm working with a lot of ideas. A lot of times I have to talk to people about the ideas, and what we do is we come up with flows, we come up with wireframes, we actually come down to the level of almost working a workable prototype. So I use tools like Figma, I use tools like Lucidchart, Miro, and all of them have a AI component. So now it used to be that I had to draw the whole flow chart by dragging a shape and connecting the dots. Now I just speak to it. And I use a tool called Whisper Flow that is a lot better in speech to text conversion, and it also detects multiple languages. And I do work with people in Argentina and Ecuador and a lot of South American, so a lot of Spanish. So it is able to recognize all of it, and I'm able to give the prompt and I get a flow done. What used to take me an hour or two now takes me 15 minutes. I've used I've used Lovable to come up with a template of a website. And Now I'm actually shifting gears. Instead of becoming a consumer, I'm becoming a creator. So I'm using N8N to create my agentic flows. And so I'll pause there. What interested you in there?
Mainly NAN. Not recently. I created an AI model. It is
You created a model. So
yeah.
can you tell me a little bit about what your model does? Or what did you create the model for?
Well, it's based off of the Google Gemini architecture, and I use it 3.5 Pro, I believe. What it does is it connects to your Google Calendar, and it can find out what's going to happen on this day, what's going to happen on this day, what's going to happen on that time today. I made it, but I don't use it because you have to self-host and start it in the Docker. I don't want to start that every single day just to talk to an AI bot.
Yeah, I have developers. So I went to this N8N workshop recently. I created 3 agents. One of them was to basically scrape a site, and I wanted some information. So I asked it to get all the information, and it basically read multiple web pages, got the information, but then I only wanted specific information from that. So I asked it to create me a list of names and people and titles and what their specialty was. And then I was able to get it into my Google Sheet. So that was very cool. I was able to connect it to my calendar and send auto responses. If somebody sent me an email and I wanted for certain sales type of requests that they can schedule some time on Calendly or I'm busy, I have it now automatically send the response. Previously, it used to be that I have to go and look at all these messages and respond back. So it's making my organization, my life a little bit more efficient, but it was very easy to do. So you used it, so you know how easy it is. So I would encourage everybody to look at some of these frameworks, figure out one simple thing that you want that you do every day in your life repeatedly, and think of all the different aspects that you do, like calendar, right? Inbox, you're checking and you want to send somebody a link to schedule your appointment. So you can have an agent look at your inbox, respond back with your calendar link. So I would encourage everybody to think of what is it that they want to use it and make their day a little bit better so you get more free time. Our own human ingenuity, our creativity, and your brain power, your smartness is the most important thing that you need to always rely and protect. That's what I would hope Khush kids like you and all your peers will do amazing creative things and show us how AI can be used to make a better world.
Yeah, and that's cool. So yes, just stay safe with AI. Now, this is going to be the last question, and
May I interject 1 second? You keep telling people stay safe. What do you mean by stay safe in your own words?
just make sure when you just check out, before you download something, make sure it's safe. When you want to get this AI tool, make sure you check it out. Like, not use it, just look at all those Reddit forums to see if they're safe. Put them in a virus total scan.
I got you. Let me help you. One of the things I would say is when you're explorers, you want to make sure that you have your parents. And if your parents are not very tech savvy, at least they will be able to understand that you are doing something with AI and they can always make sure that you are not exposed to harmful content. Will get you the resources that you need if you want to dig deeper. And there are a lot of AI forums, AI classes. I think you should all we should all. I'm also learning. We should all actively look at forums and trainings and discussions that expose the good, bad, and ugly and the dangerous part of AI.
Yeah.
So that's what I mean by safe. And I think if you're under 13, I think it's very important to have your older siblings and your parents at least be aware of what you're doing.
Now let's do our rapid fire round. So just tell me one word, or just tell me instantly what comes to mind. Favorite platform?
OpenAI.
What do you use for creating things?
Mind maps.
Mind maps. Third, what is the best thing about AI?
I know you wanted one word, empowerment.
What is your favorite AI tool for creating things?
Multiple tools I use, but if you have not used speech to text and not gotten away from a keyboard, I would challenge you to try it. Speech to text tools are my favorite. at this point.
Okay, so I will recommend all of you to try out Whisper Flow if you are very big into typing. But yeah, thank you for joining us today.
Thank you. And I have a whisper code flow. If so, we can put it in the link so they can get 1 month free to try. And I told you about Whisper Flow, but what I loved is that the founder used to be a huge Iron Man fan. And when he was younger, he saw Jarvis and he wanted to build a tool like Jarvis. And what it unlocked for a lot of us is amazing. So I would highly recommend that you go check it out. And then we'll put the code for you to get 1 month access free in the episode guide.
What advice do you have for people like me about AI?
I think you're pretty smart. I think we can all always learn from everybody. The advice I would say is if I were coming into AI at this time, I would say be hands on, don't be afraid, learn and teach people. That's what you're doing. So I absolutely love it. I think it is going to open up completely different worldview, business models, the way we live life, the way we interact with people. So best thing you can do, all of you young people who are doing AI, is first figure out how to learn and how to stay afloat. There's a lot coming up. Second, I would say teach people. Third, if you think that something can be solved, do it. And then democratize it. Go help other people who will not be looking like you or who are not like you. But then try to bring it to other people, advocate for its use.
Also, how do you learn? How did you learn all this stuff? Now, I learn AI from my Firefox homepage. It shows news of everything. I also learn from YouTube. How do you learn?
I go to some of the in-person conferences or trainings because not only am I learning on the new technology, but I'm also looking at how other people are learning and how other people are thinking about the same content that's trained. Second thing I do is I subscribe to specific podcasts and review those. And the third thing I do, now I'm starting to do, and I have a new goal. I want to be a vibe coder. So I'm actually getting into hands-on vibe coding. And I'm on some of these platforms. There are a lot of Substack forums. There are a lot of AI forums that I subscribe to. And then on LinkedIn, there is a lot of posts. There is a lot of people posting about what they have learned from. So sometimes instead of me trying to reinvent the wheel, I go read something somebody has already learned and their insights. So it makes my learning that much more faster. But hands-on work is something that is always going to make me a better learner. So I always try to be hands-on.
Yeah, be hands-on if you're new to AI and you want to learn more stuff. And one recommendation for you if you want to become a vibe coder, I recommend checking out Base 44 and
Yes.
Google Anti-Gravity. Thank you for watching this episode. Make sure to stay curious and watch more episodes of Gen AI Futurecast when they come up. So thank you for joining us.
Really enjoyed it.
And have fun with AI, but make sure you're safe.